There we go. And he's running away. We're rolling.
Cool. We're solid. Hi. I'm Bryan Lumb. I play Bryan, who is this individual kind of struggling with alcoholism after various losses, one of which that probably hits the hardest is his cat, Streep. Um, Typically, like the pandemic has been like a downtime for a lot of people, but for like Bryan specifically, it's been a hard time because of the loss of his cat, and with Asia and Trey having their own various issues, Bryan figures they're probably stronger as a unit, trying to like help each other to some degree and actually have someone to talk to who can actually like to some degree understand this issue. It was a long night, to say the least. So when I got home, I drank. It was just a lot, and I guess I wanted the rest of the day to pass me by. I think I relate to my character in the sense of having a lot of unhealthy ways of coping with things going on in my life. I am not a heavy drinker, but I do have an issue with like emotionally escaping through various media, both films and games, in order to kind of escape my world, which is totally fine, but the degree to which I attempt to do it is probably a lot less so. So, how I understand it is that alcoholism is a coping mechanism that kind of goes awry and forms a dependency. So I did a little bit of research on alcoholism, but like the big thing I really wanted to understand was in going over the script, like what formed that dependency in the first place? Like what questions kept popping up that Bryan could fill in the answer with drinking to avoid these issues of the world is in such a constant state of dismay for him that he constantly needs to ease the pain. I worked on a different project towards the beginning of COVID as part of a class. It was a two-person production. We both like wrote and kind of directed each other's bits. Like when one person was on camera, the other would direct and everything. And that was a struggle, and I feel like this also kind of came into a lot of that. Like we had a director, but like everything felt a little bit more spaced out. Like there was a disconnect, I guess. So we had to kind of learn to adapt to send this shot to the director and kind of communicate what we're doing on our end to the director on the other end and vice versa, and like trying to communicate to the best of our abilities to bring this project together. It was a different experience, and like after adapting to it, it was phenomenal. But like that was definitely like a learning curve at the beginning of it that really threw me off. But who doesn't love a challenge?
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't drink so much. Drowning yourself is just gonna make things worse.
Don't worry, it's sparkling water.
I think the show's really important not just because of its use of mental health, but in its portrayal thereof. It focuses a lot more on the obstacles throughout the process of recovery, and not so much on recovery itself. Not only that, but being able, I mean, it's a 3-person cast, but of those 3 people, we have a black main character, a Latino main character, and we're like actually being able to see that heterosexual white people aren't the only kinds of people who go through these kinds of struggles, and that these are mental health struggles. They don't care about the color of our skin or our heritage. I mean, there are genetic mental disorders, or mental health issues, but they're not going to solely focus on that genetic component. Someone who doesn't have a family history of depression is still going to stumble onto it one way or another. And so it's how it's portrayed as there are no such things as clear-cut solutions that are going to fix these issues, and being able to see people who you may not have prior been able to see suffer from these issues get to you get to kind of see people like yourself go through the same stuff. This has been Bryan Lumb. Thank you so much for watching the interview, and if you got spare time, why don't you check out Stuck In? It's coming out early December.